As some of you may or may not know, this June I was accepted as an Adobe Creative Resident Community Fund Grant recipient. For the month of June and a little bit beyond, I have been working on the video you're about to see, as well as the few videos that you'll see in the days following. This first video is a wrap-up of my Finding Home project, my road trip from last year, and then I'm going to dive into how I edited this video in the following videos to come. And this is something that I'm going to be doing a lot more of on this channel, creating kind of these cinematic nature documentaries and then breaking down how I edit them. That's kind of something that I'm a little bit interested in moving forward with. And so that's what you can expect to see. But for now, please enjoy the finale of the Finding Home series. And I hope you'll continue to stick with me through these editing breakdowns to follow.
Yosemite National Park lies west of the line of the Sierra Nevada mountains in middle eastern California. The Yosemite Valley is a magnificent gorge about 7 miles long and averaging a mile in width. In 1864, Congress placed Yosemite Valley and the Mariposa Grove under California administration, and in 1890, it created a national park from the remaining sections of this wonderland. In 1906, the federal and state parks were merged in Yosemite National Park.
In an 1899 issue of The Atlantic, John Muir wrote of Yosemite National Park, "Nowhere will you see the majestic operations of nature more clearly revealed beside the frailest, most gentle and peaceful things. Nearly all the park is a profound solitude, yet it is full of charming company, a place of peace and safety amid the most exalted grandeur and eager, enthusiastic action, a new song, a place of beginnings abounding in first lessons on life, mountain building, eternal, invincible, unbreakable order, with sermons in stones, storms, trees, flowers, and animals brimful of humanity. But to get all this into words is a hopeless task. The leanest sketch of each feature would need a whole chapter. Nor would any amount of space, however industriously scribbled, be much avail. To defraud town toilers, parks and magazine articles are like pictures of bread to the hungry. I can write only hints to incite good wanderers to come to the feast."
When I was 9 years old, I visited Yosemite for the first time. A mere 3 hours from where I lived, I had no idea what was waiting for me, but I still remember how I felt the first time I drove into the valley. I was home. When I left on this road trip in June of 2019, I was lost. I didn't feel like I had a home or a purpose or a direction. Life was moving forward, but I was stuck in one place. I needed to reconnect with myself, and I needed to reconnect with the world around me.
Today I was supposed to go from my campground in the Dixie National Forest to Bryce Canyon National Park and then to the campground that I'm on my way to right now. But I got to this point where I was realizing that this trip wasn't so much about seeing the national parks and like seeing these beautiful things and everything, as it was about like just personal reflection for myself. I'm kind of excited that I'm again in a place where I don't have cell reception, and I can't talk to people and I can't communicate, because I think that it is important for me to spend some time by myself and spend some time reflecting and spend some time really getting to know myself, because that was why I decided to do this trip in the first place.
There was a time where I was living my life so much for another person that I not only lost sight of who I am and what I want, but I also lost sight of my friends and the other people in my life. And so I think in this way, taking a step back and being like, okay, who am I? What do I like? What do I want? What am I doing? And really understanding myself and really getting to know myself and being comfortable with myself is making me a better friend and a better family member, a better sister, a better daughter. I think that the more I feel comfortable and the more I'm okay with me, the better of a person I am.
I think when we first met, we both kind of had this really idyllic view of the world and of the future. That sort of American dream, white picket fence, 2 kids, quiet neighborhood kind of thing. But as I got older and started to experience new things and meet new people and see new parts of the world, I realized that wasn't a lifestyle I was interested in living. And instead of facing that, I threw myself into trying to fix it. And I think I really lost a lot of myself in that process. And I quickly fell into a pretty bad depression before realizing that what was best for me was to leave.
I think a lot of people think this is like oh, you and Jeremy broke up, like you just want to get out of here and like hit the road, whatever, do your thing. And I'm like, this is a trip I've been planning for 6 years, and Jeremy never wanted to take it, so I was always going to take it alone.
It wasn't really fair to either of us to keep living that way. I wanted to live my life doing things that were going to make me happy, and I wasn't really sure what those things were, but I knew what they weren't.
I think that having this time to reflect and having this time to get to know myself and be alone with myself, it's helped me realize the things that I want, the things that I think I'm capable of, to really kind of believe in myself.
I'm happy alone. I am happy in my car with my cat on the road. And I needed to see that. I needed to know that I was okay on my own. I had never lived alone. I had never really had to fully take care of myself, and I didn't know if I could do it. And this road trip proved to me that I could. I was 100% capable of taking care of myself. One of my last stops on that road trip was Portland, and I spent time with my friends Colin and Kasha. And what I learned in Portland was that just because I could didn't mean I had to. What I saw with Colin and Kasha was a life built around friends and experiences and fun and what I could have if I didn't isolate myself. I realized that what I wanted more than anything was a community. And And I had never really taken the time to build that, because when I was married, I had my marriage, and when I was alone, I had myself. And I operated under this ridiculous notion that I didn't need anyone else.
I ended up deciding to go back because I kind of figured out what I was looking for, and I realized that I wasn't going to obtain it if I stayed on the road. I tell people that I went back because I ran out of money. I did run out of money, like I was totally out of money by the time I got back, but that wasn't the reason I went home. The plan in my head had kind of always been to drive until I ran out of money, and wherever I stopped, like wherever I was broke, I was gonna try to find a job and work until I had enough money to keep traveling. I decided to go home and make a plan and get my stuff together. When I got back, I started working for my dad again at his coffee shop. I started doing some freelancing. I was living with my parents again, and I was just like constantly thinking about like, okay, where do I go? Like, I don't want to lose this momentum. I don't want to lose this inspiration. Like, I want to get everything together. I got back in July. I spent July, August, September, October, and most of November back home working for my dad. And then in about halfway through November, second week of November, I went to visit my friends Rocky and Ethan in Columbus, Ohio. And I absolutely fell in love with the city. It was affordable. There was like a lot of work available there. I had friends there. There was interesting things to do. And so I was like, you know what? This is where I want to move. And so I went back home. I got all my stuff together, and I moved to Ohio like 3 weeks later, December 2nd. I moved into the apartment I'm sitting in right now.
Welcome to my new apartment. So this is the kitchen. Lovely little kitchen. The center area. Bags on the ground here. Litter box. Windows. This view of, well, this view is really of like a parking lot. And then we go in here to the bedroom. More windows. Laundry. Mattress. This view though is great, like all of downtown pretty much right here, which is cool. And then the bathroom and the shower. And Flint, hey buddy.
You know, I really like my job. I'm still getting to do a lot of freelancing, and I get to make a lot of my own content still. Like I've got a lot of time for that. I have this beautiful apartment in downtown Columbus that I love. There's so many great things to do in Columbus. I've met some really cool people. I've made some really good friends. I started dating. I met Reese, who I've been seeing since December, actually. Pretty much the entire time I've lived here. I was so afraid of repeating mistakes I'd made in the past. Mainly losing myself in a relationship. And because of that, I'd been really afraid to start a new relationship. We're just on the same page about everything, and it's fantastic. You know, everything happened so quickly, all of it. It was like perfect though. Everything about it has been perfect. I'm so happy. I feel so fulfilled. All of the things that I felt like I was missing, I feel like I have now. I mean, these last 2-3 years have been, the person I was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago is so vastly different than the person I am right now. And I feel like I have grown so much, and I have learned so much about the world, about myself, about my friends, about just so many things. And I'm so happy to be where I am right now.